The existence of the soul has always intrigued scientists, and every day, new evidence has amazed researchers. However, this discussion goes a lot further than science.
This is the title of Edir Macedo's new book, Secrets and Mysteries of the Soul. He spoke about the subject in an exclusive and very touching interview made to this program.
The hustle and bustle. More. Posts, likes, comments. The intense routine, the brevity of time and stressful thoughts. Then suddenly, everything ends. We are in an intensive care unit designed for patients with grave conditions. Despite all efforts and devotion of the healthcare professionals, medical science is not always able to prevent death. When the heart stops beating and the other organs stop working, what happens then? The body no longer lives. But what about the soul? What is the soul, and what has been discovered about it?
In general, science knows that there is a part of the human being that is not simply biological, that is, material. There have been many philosophers throughout history who have taken a very definite stance towards the existence of the soul. The soul is understood as something that is not physical.
From philosophers such as Socrates and Plato to Nobel Prize winners, the existence of the soul intrigues and fascinates humanity.
This has been a very important query among scientists. What is missing? And this missing link is understood as not being a natural, material or physical part. There has to be something else.
American neurosurgeon Eben Alexander confirms that research on the soul has amazed scientists.
What I can tell you is that this incredible revolution that is happening in the scientific field, surrounding the nature of consciousness, is leading us towards a more powerful argument that supports the reality of the soul, the existence and our understanding of the soul.
In the search for evidence, real experiences of those who deal with life and death are impressive.
I am absolutely certain that the soul truly exists. I have reviewed many case studies of people who have had these experiences. Many of them relate what had happened to them during a cardiac arrest. The first thing they speak about is the sensation of being outside their bodies. For those who study this displacement is the displacement of the soul.
Ilka spent 16 days in a coma after suffering kidney failure. She went through an experience that she will never forget.
I could see my body, which was by my side, laying down.
What do you think happened?
It was my soul.
It was your soul?
It was my soul. I am sure of this.
Ilka suffered an NDE, a near-death experience. Do you get emotional thinking about it?
Yes, I do get emotional, because what I experienced served as a lesson.
The accounts from those who affirm to have seen their own souls when they were at the brink of death are common and have become a topic for research.
The majority of doctors have witnessed these accounts many times throughout their lives. This is what intrigues medical science so much.
What, after all, is the soul?
The soul, when God created a human being, He gave them wisdom, which is the spirit, and the soul that lives for all eternity. However, the soul has to submit to the spirit. It is the spirit that thinks, the soul feels. Oh, my Lord!
This is a subject to which Edir Macedo devotes his life.
The soul is the center of our feelings. People get the soul mixed up with the spirit. The spirit is our intelligence, intellect, and reason. The soul is the bodiless substance, which is symbolized by the heart. The heart is the symbol of the soul and is the center of our emotions and feelings. When a person has a headache, for example, or anxiety, or has depression, it is the soul that suffers.
Are these the pains of the soul?
The pains of the soul. The soul is wailing, and there are even those who, due to the emptiness that is in their soul, their pain so unbearable that they self-harm. They prefer to feel pain in their bodies rather than in their soul.
In 1907, some innovative research was carried out. A doctor and researcher from Massachusetts named Duncan McDougall concluded that the soul not only exists but also has weight. He and his team had built a special bed that contained a very sensitive scale. The equipment demonstrated that at the time of death, bodies would lose the exact weight of 21 grams. News of these results spread throughout the world and has been published in scientific journals and in the New York Times. Other studies in the United States have pointed out that the soul could be harbored within structures called microtubules, which are located in brain cells.
There are neuronic structures known as microtubules. They are very important. They form part of the cellular structure, which processes information within the neurons.
This theory is defended by scientists Stuart Hameroff of the Center for Consciousness Studies at Arizona University and Sir Roger Penrose of Oxford University, who have studied this subject since 1996.
Fetching the soul of that man and leaving the room.
A testimony of Dr. Fernando Lemos, who is renowned in colonic surgery, went viral on the internet.
I have had a few experiences which, truthfully, are undeniable. It wasn't a sensation. It was almost tangible.
He was trying to revive a patient who had lost his vital signs.
After we removed the heart monitors, something, I can say, it was like a movie scene. I saw as if a shadow was coming towards this patient. He gave his last groan, and once again, I saw something leaving and going out through the window of the hospital.
Do you consider that the patient's groan was the discontent of his soul leaving his body?
With all certainty, and going towards an unhappy place.
Knowing what the soul really is a mystery for many. This is the main theme of Adir Macedo's new book, Secrets and Mysteries of the Soul. You said that the soul is eternal. What does that mean?
When a body dies, the soul is detached from it. Nothing's done with the body. The body is useless, so it's buried. A body can be perfect and have no illnesses. Let's say that it suffered a sudden death. However, when the soul leaves the body is left worthless. This goes to show that all the suffering that the body experienced whilst alive happened in the soul.
According to Adir Macedo, the soul has a clear purpose in our lives.
God gives us the sensitivity through our hearts and souls, as well as in the spirit, in order to decide, precisely so that each person may make their own decisions.
Is it easy for a person to go the wrong way and not take care of their soul?
Certainly. The Bible talks about the soul, which is the heart. The heart's deceitful, which is the soul. Above all things, above everything else, the heart is deceitful and desperately wicked. Who can know it?
Edir Macedo believes that decisions made entirely upon emotions can have severe consequences.
What can be done? There is only one way. The solution is for a person to have an encounter with God. They have to seek for what their intellect says. Look, this is wrong. Our heads, which is our spirit, says, look, you know this is wrong. You have to overcome your feelings, the wicked and the deceitful heart that you carry.
This is why Edir Macedo points out that the soul and the spirit should walk together.
Usually, the human being is more tuned into what they see, touch, or feel.
What they desire.
What they desire, than what's basically invisible. When Adam and Eve sinned, they did it consciously. They sinned because they wanted to do so. They rebelled against the word. If a person's spirit is rebellious, their heart will be rebellious and will want to satisfy its own desires.
The body has a beginning, middle, and end. How about the soul?
Everything that God created is eternal, especially life. Only He has the power to destroy it. For example, He destroys physical things. However, when it comes to spiritual things, they never die. When a person dies, their spirit, intelligence, and abilities return to God. Their soul goes to wherever they had chosen it to go, which means the one who chooses their destination is the spirit of that person. Here on earth, they chose where their soul would go.
Humanity's greatest mystery, with answers that go beyond science.
God doesn't look at our social means, gender, race, color. He looks inside us. He looks into our soul.
What is a peaceful soul, Bishop?
Peaceful soul? I am a peaceful soul. A peaceful soul is like this. Even in the midst of wars, persecution, injustice, slander, hatred, prejudice, and defamation against me, I live at peace. I am at peace with God. I am at peace with myself. I am at peace with my family. Therefore, I can quote David's psalm, which says, I will both lie down in peace and sleep. For you alone, O Lord, make me dwell in safety. I will not have less peace if I give my peace to other people. On the contrary, the more of this peace we are able to give to people, the more we receive it from God.
The uncertainty of tomorrow is the greatest incentive for a person to take care of their soul today. What are 80, 90, or 100 years compared to eternity, where there are no calendars or clocks?